Barack Obama could be our next president. I'm not kidding. This can actually happen. Trump has made no secret of the fact that he wants to change the Constitution and run for a third term. But he wouldn't just automatically win if he ran for a third term. He'd have to run against a Democratic challenger. And if the Constitution no longer prohibited a third term, who would the Democrats' best option be? Barack Obama. And a poll was just released that showed this hypothetical matchup, Trump versus Obama. Who do you think won? Unsurprisingly, Obama wins by 6%, which is actually a blowout margin. And if you look closer at the data, Obama does this by two things. One is by winning independents by about 20%, and two is by stealing a bunch of votes from people who voted for Trump in 24 but would vote for Obama in 28. And this all adds up because in 2016, there were between 6 and 9 million people who voted for Obama in 2008 and 2012 and then voted for Trump in 2016. So in my opinion, change the Constitution. Good luck. The best modern-day American president with the highest approval rating of any living president against an 82-year-old Donald Trump. I like our chances.
On in 2028, because when we get to run Barack Obama again, or we get to run Gavin Newsom up against him, those debates are going to flatten Donnie. It'll actually be a little unfair because another 3 years of that cognitive decline that Trump's experiencing at the rate that it's going now means that it's going to be like a prize fighter going up against a hospice patient in front of the White House in that UFC ring. Like, you guys can't actually think that that debate's going to go well. Newsom's going to answer a question and be like, boom. And Trump's going to be off rambling about how he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, he was afraid to debate Kamala again. Not to mention that the trajectory of the country isn't going to get better in the next 3 years, which means more and more people will be impacted by his terrible economic policies. Oh, and it's unconstitutional for him to run again. And that's exactly why he's going to try to suspend elections, because he knows he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell.
Does these things for entire presidency. Obama's vocabulary alone can outshine his entire presidency. For those of you who are confused, I say it again. President Obama's entire vocabulary will always outshine Trump's entire presidency. And you don't even have to like him. President Obama is beyond intelligent, something that Trump will never be. And I couldn't agree more when President Obama said in this new interview that there is so much clownery going on in this administration, it's not even funny. Trump does these things for attention. And that I must agree. Everything that this man does is for attention, and it's a distraction. So yes, President Obama, again, when he was entire president.
Hey guys, been exposed. Now, for the record, never said Obama was a hero. But I'm going to own it. I think he was a hero. I think there's a lot of qualities about Obama we should look for. And also, I want to point out, in this guy's world, this sort of dog whistle, it's an insult. So he's saying this because he's expecting somebody to back down and to cower. And that's just nonsensical. Why would you cower and back down when other people are being, maybe careful here, not being nice, right? Because a nice person wouldn't say that. A person who embraces the differences in others wouldn't say that. So that should probably get by the TikTok censors, but at the end of the day, yeah, Obama was a hero. He was decent, he was smart, he was articulate, he could put together a sentence, he could problem solve. You can do all these things Donald Trump can't. And that's it. Like, you look at Donald Trump and you see a lot of yourself in him and you think, oh wow, if he's rich and powerful, maybe I can. The difference is he was born that way. And you were born into whatever social class you're in, and you're not going to move up and out of your place socially, economically by acting like Donald Trump.
Even though the state of Iowa voted for Barack Obama twice in 2008 and 2012, ever since then, for the last decade, it's been a red state. It is a solid Trump state. They went for Trump in 2016, they went for Trump in 2020, and they went for Trump in 2024, in spite of, that Seltzer poll that was just way, way off base. Iowa is a deep red, Trump-loving, MAGA-voting state. And according to a new report from the New York Times, they're pissed off. they're pissed off at Donald Trump. Not just because of his bailout of Argentina while farmers are going bankrupt in the United States, not just because they're taking all the workers away because of the immigration raids, not just because of the mass layoffs that major companies in Iowa are currently doing because of, Trump's economic policies causing all this uncertainty so businesses can't grow. It's all of it. It's every bit, as one resident described it, death by 1,000 cuts. And according to this report from the New York Times, Iowa, out of all the states in the country, has in fact been hit the hardest by all of these different Trump policies. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that or believe that Iowa is suffering more than anyone else, but there is no denying that they are in fact suffering. But Trump, the Republicans in his administration and the Republicans in the House and Senate have been trying to convince us all year that all of these bad things, right? The layoffs we're seeing, unemployment's going up, the inflation that's coming back, they tell us that doesn't even exist. The rising prices at the grocery store, the lack of workers, just hire American people who refuse to do the jobs. This is all somehow the Democrats' fault, right? That is the narrative, that is the mantra Republicans have been giving us all year, in spite of the fact that they control every single branch of the federal government. Every bad thing that happens to you is the Democrats. Every good thing is the Republicans. Even when they vote against the good things, they still give it to you. Just like with the infrastructure bill, they voted against it and then went out to their constituents and bragged about everything it was about to do for them. But most people aren't buying it, including Trump's own MAGA voters in Iowa. They've turned against him. Let me read you this from the report. When President Trump announced a $20 billion bailout for Argentina this month, Larry Orr, 86, a farmer in Earlham, Iowa, could hardly believe it, especially after boatloads of Argentine soybeans began shipping to China, a once critical customer for Mr. Orry's family. For Iowans, losing China's soybean market in the president's trade war was only one of many economic shocks that have hit the state since the start of Mr. Trump's second term. The cost of tractors and fertilizers have shot up with his tariffs, labor. Even though the state of Iowa voted for Barack Obama twice in 2008 and 2012.
The media has been buzzing all day about Trump saying that running for a third term would be legal. The real media buzz should be about when Obama will declare his candidacy for 2028. Do you also agree that he should wear his tan suit for all 1,460 days of his third term?
Sorry, you're up my nose here, but it's kind of loud here at the beach. I want to make a point about how stupid and gullible these friggin' Magas are. They're running around believing that Barack Obama is going to be arrested and prosecuted and imprisoned for treason and whatever other bullshit nonsense crimes they accuse him of. By the way, the treason thing is such a friggin' joke. Treason is one of those things they throw around when they can't actually name an actual specific crime that is committed. They kind of just use treason as a catch-all. It's treason. Everything is treason to these Magas. Well, that's of course laughable. But here's the thing. There's two reasons, aside from the fact that he didn't commit any crime. And by the way, yes, I understand that this is all, as I've talked about, nothing but a complete distraction or an attempted distraction from Epstein. But I do want to make the point, since it's out there. Aside from the fact that Barack Obama didn't commit any crime, two reasons that just prove how stupid these MAGAs are to believe that he is going to be prosecuted for anything. Number one, what Donald Trump is accusing him, the crimes he's accusing him falsely of having committed, took place back in 2016. That's a long time ago. The statute of limitations for any crimes that could have been committed back there has already run. So you can't even bring criminal prosecutions for crimes committed back in 2016. So even if Barack Obama was indicted by this corrupt criminal Trump regime and arrested on whatever friggin' charges stemming back from 2015, what would happen immediately is Barack Obama's lawyers would file a motion to dismiss based on, citing the statute of limitations, and those indictments would be immediately dismissed because they're barred by the statute of limitations. That's number one. Number two, do these idiots not remember the Supreme Court ruling on immunity that gave their Orange God King all kinds of protections? Well, guess what? All these crimes that Trump is accusing Barack Obama of having committed were supposedly committed, again, back in 2016 when Barack Obama was president. And so he has all kinds of immunity. And all these things that Trump is accusing Obama of crime stemmed from what Trump says is illegal surveillance of his campaign. They were spying on my campaign. Well, spying, surveillance, that all happens through the executive branch of the federal government, right? The CIA and other agencies would be conducting those surveillance operations. So even if that happened and Barack Obama ordered it, those would be official acts and therefore subject to immunity. So even if there was a crime, which there's not, it would be barred. Prosecution for those crimes would be barred by the statute of limitations, and he would have presidential immunity. So these friggin' people are, many of them, being effectively distracted from the Epstein situation, which was the entire point of Donald Trump doing all this. By the
I'm not even MAGA. Like,
You're not MAGA? You voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You are MAGA.
Nah, I mean, like, if Obama and Trump ran, like, I would vote for Obama if they ran in 2028.
Okay. What's the difference between Obama and Kamala Harris? That means you want to vote for Obama, but not Kamala Harris over Donald Trump.
Obama's the deporter in chief, and Kamala oversaw one of the worst border crises we've ever had in this country. There's a huge difference. We were invaded.
Okay. Okay. Invaded. Okay. So you think we were invaded. Okay. I have a question. Are you okay with the population of the country growing 1% to 2% a year?
Yeah, I am. I think.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
So how many people do you think illegally came to the country? Did you hear me, Timmy? Hey, Timmy Turner, did you hear me? You there, Timmy Turner? Okay, well, he's gone.
I'm not even.
Hi Magas, welcome back to my channel, Ijoma TV. Thank you for always tuning into my channel. You guys are the best. If you are new here, you're welcome. Please do well to subscribe, like, and comment. To all my old subscribers, you guys are the best. Please do well to share your thoughts, opinion concerning the video that you just watched, that you can hear it from your ear, that some of the Magas, they now prefer President Obama, which is the former president of US. They prefer him to Donald Trump. That is their present president. They prefer Obama to Donald Trump, which you can see that most of them are saying, even in 2018, even in 2020, they are ready. In 2028 or so, they are ready to vote President Obama again over Donald Trump. So what do you think? What do you think? Which one, if they ask you to vote, which one that you can vote for? Feel free to share your thoughts, opinion under the comment section. That because so many people there now complain, they say the cost of living is too high, that what they expected from President Donald Trump, that is not what they are saying right now. So most of them are regretting their votes. They are crying, they are regretting their vote. It's not all anyway, some. So feel free to share your thoughts, opinion under the comment section. If you really love Donald Trump regime or you prefer President Obama regime. Thank you guys, and credit to all the creators in this video. You guys are the best. Share your opinion. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you all. Bye.